everyone, today I'll be reviewing this movie dropped on Netflix called The Substitute, and this movie it is from Argentina. And I was looking at information about this movie. This movie has won some awards, so it is very recognized movie. I guess it's finally dropped on Netflix. And what do I think about this movie? I thought this movie was actually very beautifully directed, and the acting is so good from the center actor Zuan Mini Zon, and also we see his dad played by Alfredo Castro. And also there's some few actor I recognize them, and this movie it's not a Netflix production movie. I guess it's from Argentina, so it's from there. And in this movie you see Lucio, who is a he's a professor, like he used to be a professor, and he used to he's a literacy professor, like he used to be in college. Then he moved to this small town where he become now a high school teacher, when he where he also teach, I guess, literacy in this show. And we see over there he has a daughter, and also he has a dad, and we see there is some scene between him and dad, like they have a good relationship back and forth. And also we see he has an ex-wife in this movie, and this ex-wife is actually very known actress. I have seen her in other Netflix movie. Her name is Barbara Linney, and I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought this movie, the way it was made, of course the acting is so good, but also the way it was done, it felt very very authentic. When you watch it, you feel like you are there in that high school, and you are with all this student. Of course he was in one of his student in that high school, who is Divan. And we see Divan has this relationship with his dad, and we see he actually works for his dad. And we see when this Lucio, he sees Divan, he's working for his dad, and he is also in his class, but of course somehow he get involved in this drug lord business. When we see in this movie, this teacher basically, he step up and try to help him and his dad. So as I was saying, I really like some of the scene in this movie between Lucio and his dad. I thought those scenes felt very, like, some reason all the scene you like watching this movie. This is one of this movie, it's really well made. The story itself is nothing new. Like, it is, you have seen this kind of teacher story before, how teacher get involved in student business or something like that. Like, this movie does have a lot of teacher student scene, high school scene, all this kid we hear about it. And but the way this was directed and acted, it get audience invested in the character. You're like, oh, let's see where the story going. Although there is some scene drag here and there, but it's overall the story about Lucio. He's a middle-aged guy. He's a single dad. I really like some of the scene he has between his daughter with him. He's like, she's reading poetry with him, and I thought those scenes were really sweet and cute. Overall, I like this movie a lot. As I was saying, all the story itself is little predictable, but the way it was done, the acting, and all the scenes do feel very authentic. When you watch it, you're like, whoa, it's really good. And especially all the student, for some reason, all the student, the class scene, they're also very good too. Like, there was one scene where he asked them to write poetry. I thought that scene was really funny, when he was reading all the students their poetry. Yeah, I have seen recently similar movie as from another country. So that is why I would say, like, that movie was from Poland. If you have seen that is also about a substitute teacher, but he goes there undercover. But this movie is actually there I like that how he had to adjust there in this high school, because he used to be in college teaching. Now he moves into this. Yeah, I really enjoy this movie. It was really slow burn type, but interesting way it was directed and acted, that it feels engaging when you watch it. Overall story about this teacher, student, and how somehow father, how he get involved in this. Very interesting. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. And if you enjoyed this review, watch my other reviews on other Netflix movie. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.